Thank you so very much. It's always good to be here in Elkridge, right here at Station 1. As president of the Maryland Association of Counties, I moderated a panel in this last summer conference just a couple weeks ago on the importance of the shock trauma system. During that panel, shock trauma's highly regarded chief, Dr. Thomas Scalia, discussed an innovative step being taken that's already saving lives. He discussed how the state's medevac helicopters now carry whole blood to assist in emergency response to our residents who have been seriously injured. To take this life-saving step and this wonderful initiative even farther, today I'm excited to announce that Howard County will become Maryland's first local jurisdiction to equip its ground-based EMS supervisors with whole blood. The Whole Blood program allows specially trained and EMS supervisors to administer low-titer type O positive whole blood to patients who are experiencing life-threatening injuries. Until now, the best practice for EMS first responders who are dealing with these types of injuries was to stop the bleeding and get them to a hospital as quickly as possible. We can now save time and save lives. In the past year, our EMS clinicians have transported nearly 20,000 patients to approximately a 15% increase over the previous year. A fifth of those patients were transported due to traumatic injury. And while not every trauma patient will need a blood transfusion, the ability to provide whole blood to critical patients will increase their chances of survival even before they reach the hospital. Studies have shown that whole blood transfusions in a pre-hospital setting have proven to increase patient survivability. The military and other emergency medical service departments around the world have been utilizing this method because of its efficacy. In fact, across our country, administering pre-hospital blood, upwards of 25% of cases are for non-traumatic injuries, but instead hemorrhage caused by medical emergencies. Our Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services leads our state and our country. It is one of the only departments in the state with a team of medical directors led by our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Matthew Levy. Please give him a big round of applause. Thank you for your leadership and service, Dr. Levy. Our community initiatives include hands-only CPR training and Stop the Bleed campaigning, and those have made our residents more equipped to handle emergency situations. Now, we're thrilled to be able to administer this program in Howard County, where once again, we are leading the way in emergency response protocols. I want to thank the Johns Hopkins Howard County Medical Center, the Howard County Health Department, the Howard County Office of Emergency Management, and of course, the Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services for continuing to keep our residents healthy and thriving. I want to especially thank the Shock Trauma Center and my friend, Dr. Scalia, who couldn't be here with us today, for spearheading this initiative and once again, embracing innovation. When we all work together, we can envision and implement transformative, cutting-edge, life-saving procedures to make sure that all Howard County residents and visitors are receiving the best possible medical care. I'm especially elated that we're leading the way in Maryland and that we can serve as a beacon for other jurisdictions to follow and save lives across this great state, this great country, and this great world. Thank you.
Thank you. And my first comment is wow, wow, and wow. And on behalf of Governor Moore, Lieutenant Governor Miller, it's an extreme honor for me to be here today. It's a special honor for me to be here today because I'm a fire service person. Into my 50th year of being an EMT, that's scary on itself. I remember Cadillac ambulances. And to see where Howard County has progressed through the years is absolutely phenomenal. And you do, beyond any shadow of a doubt, lead the state in this. So the citizens, the residents, folks who are traveling through Howard County should feel really, really special because this is absolutely incredible. So I congratulate you on being that type of leader in the state of Maryland. And it's really important because Maryland's EMS system has been designed by the people in Maryland, the folks like Dr. Levy and those before him, and Dr. Scalia today, who are pushing us beyond the mark so that we can save lives. And things are changing at such a rapid pace that it's necessary to make these kind of changes with the events and, unfortunately, the crisis that we run across. So from an emergency management perspective, why is this important? If your services don't work on a bright, hot, sunny day, you can be absolutely guaranteed on that crisis or disaster day, it will be a problem. And Howard County is one place sitting at the state level that I feel very, very confident. One, you have good local services, and two, you'll be able to assist your neighbors with those services as necessary. So again, on behalf of the governor, the lieutenant governor, we congratulate you, recognize you as a leader, and keep moving forward, and thank you very, very much.
It's an honor to be here today on behalf of the council. I'm Christiana Rigby, and as the chair, I bring our greetings and true enthusiasm. This program will save lives, not just in Howard County, but for folks who are traveling through our community. You may not realize all of the highways and pathways we have through us, but it is essential that we have these resources to meet people in need. So thank you all for being here, and thank you to Dr. Ball and our fire department for spearheading this. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Lewis Winston, the Fire Chief of Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services. And thank you all for being here with us this morning. I want to first thank Dr. Ball, Council Chair Rigby, and the county administration for their continued support of our great department. It is their support that help initiatives like these come to fruition for us. Today is an exciting day for our department. I couldn't be prouder to be the chief of the first ground-based EMS department in Maryland to offer whole blood to patients who have sustained major blood loss through a traumatic injury or bleeding. Until now, as Dr. Ball said, in cases of severe bleeding, often the best medicine we could provide to our patients was stopping the bleed and getting them to the hospital as quick as possible. With the whole blood program, our EMS supervisors can now replace the blood that these patients have lost through their injuries and increase their chance of survival. I have no doubt that this program will lead to better outcomes for our critically injured patients and increase the number of lives that we can save. I won't spend much time before I turn the podium over to our medical director to explain the program, but I want to take the time to thank a few people who were responsible for the launch of our whole blood program. Our Office of Medical Director and Emergency Service Bureau has been a leading charge on this initiative since day one. I want to thank Dr. Matthew Levy, Battalion Chief Chris Shannon, and Captain Eric Cohn for their hard work in seeing this project through to completion. I'd also like to thank our partners over at Howard County's Office of Emergency Management who secured the grant funding that allowed us to purchase the logistical items that are needed to store and administer whole blood in a mobile field environment. Thank you to Director Mike Henston, Deputy Director Callie Gorgo, and their team for helping making this program a reality. There have been so many people, departments, and agencies who have dedicated their time and energy into getting us to here today. I am grateful to each and every one of them, and for all of you who are joining us here today in person and online to celebrate the launch of our whole blood program. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and what an amazing and special day today is. So again, my name is Matt Levy. I'm the Medical Director and Chief Medical Officer for EMS and Public Safety here in Howard County, and what an honor and a privilege it is to stand before you and our amazing team of individuals surrounding in this room who've made this day possible. Dr. Ball, Secretary Strickland, Chief Winston, thank you for your leadership, advocacy, and believing in us to do amazing work. I couldn't ask for a better team of leaders to get to work with on a daily basis. This is truly a historic moment for us in a number of different reasons. As we gather to announce the launch of our pre-hospital whole blood program, I'll let you all in on a little secret. We actually went live ahead of schedule August 31st of last week and has already been used once. So we're really, really excited and privileged to be able to announce this. It's important for me as a physician to not talk doctor right now, but to talk about what this means for the people that we serve. You see, our EMS systems are built around the concept of rapidly identifying and treating life-threatening emergencies. And as you've heard just moments ago, up until this point, really all we could do is stop that bleeding and get to definitive care as soon as possible. Traumatic injury, let's talk about that for a second. Leading cause of death, a leading cause of death in all age groups, and the leading cause of death of people under the age of 46 years old. And within those patients who unfortunately succumb to their injuries, it is hemorrhage that is the leading cause of preventable death. That's the thing that we can hopefully try to slow down, try to fix, and try to get people the best outcome possible given a very bad day. But what we've learned from our colleagues around the country who've implemented these programs is that nearly 25% of the time, other EMS systems are giving blood for patients who are not traumatically injured, but who are suffering from life-threatening medical emergencies, bleeding from any number of causes that I'm not going to get into because I promised you I won't talk doctor right now. Emergency medical care is at the cornerstone of our healthcare system. We truly are out in the community, saving lives, interacting with members of the community, and have an opportunity to really affect the outcomes of so many patients. And the pre-hospital administration of whole blood allows us to do just that. It allows us to buy precious time to get our patients stabilized and transported to definitive care to help them have the best possible outcome. This concept of giving blood is not new. In fact, giving whole blood in the field dates back nearly 100 years. And over the past century, as we have evolved in medicine and in science and all of the lessons learned, there's something both humbling and also inspiring about the fact that we've come full circle to something that matters the most, which is replacing the thing that someone is losing with the thing that they need, and that's blood. The low-titer O-positive whole blood program has been shown to be safe for critically ill and injured patients suffering from hemorrhagic shock. That's the kind of shock that someone goes into when they're bleeding. And when given to patients who are critically ill and injured, these programs have been shown to be both safe and effective. So we will be carrying this whole blood on each of our 3 EMS supervisor vehicles that looks like the ones behind me here today. All of our EMS supervisors are highly trained and highly capable individuals who I would let take care of me or any of my family members, as would any of our paramedics take care of any of us. Those individuals have been trained both in the classroom and also in the skills of how to recognize and treat and resuscitate someone in hemorrhagic shock and to give this blood. We will always work towards attaining consent when possible for a patient who's in shock, because we respect and value the individual decisions of our patients. And we've put that into our training program as well. And as we advance this program, we are both humbled at the opportunity and privileged to help innovate and pave the way for others to follow. Lastly, and certainly not least, I ask for you to seriously consider donating blood in your own community, as it is truly one of the most precious commodities we have. Thank you so much for being here. And to my colleagues around the room, thank you all for everything you've done to make this possible, because this would not have happened without our team. And we have an amazing team. Thank you.